Okay, hello everybody! So I actually did this video last week and I'm gonna redo it now and we're gonna figure this out. I wanted to do a video where, but wait, before I get into anything, how are you? Like, what's going on in your lives? Let me know how you're feeling generally. Like, this is supposed to be a mental health check-in and I want to make this a regular thing that I do every month or so, hopefully with some luck, because Lord knows I am not that great at keeping my promises, but we're going to try to keep myself accountable here and be as open as I possibly can and talk about my mental health. And I want to know how your mental health is. It's not just about me. I want you to constantly be thinking about your mental health and what's going on in your life. And the thing that kind of inspired me to start this was Undefined Therapy. Go check out that channel if you haven't. Rashonda, she mentioned in a video that she wanted to be more open and honest with her emotions and, like, you know, put it out there a little bit more in 2019. So I was like, yeah, I need to do that a little bit more too, because I tend to be very closed off. At least that's how it comes across in my mind. So that's what this is about, mental health check-in. So I'm gonna put up some clips from the video that I did last week, and the reason I'm doing a new one is because I feel very different today. And I think it's interesting to see the contrast in how I was like so low energy and not feeling it last week. So let's see what I had to say from last week, and I'm gonna re-say some of it today because I think I can probably say it a little faster. And I know when some of you see that video time and it says like 20 minutes, you're like, I'm not watching this, and I don't blame you because I'm the same way. Hello everybody, I wanted to do something different today. So I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I don't know. I feel like there are times when I go missing from YouTube and I don't think anybody really cares. Like, I don't really notice when other YouTubers are missing for the most part, but some people might notice and you might wonder what's going on. So I figured this would maybe be a good way to kind of keep you updated and keep it relevant to the idea of mental health, because I'll talk about my own mental health and what's going on. I'm experimenting and I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm feeling unsure. I'm feeling low self-esteem. I'm feeling, I wouldn't say depressed. I would say last year I was feeling much more depressed around this time, but I'm feeling unsure and anxious and scared. So let's talk about that. Even for myself, when I look back on my own videos, I'm like, I don't see why I would watch every one of this guy's videos. Not that I've watched every one of anybody's videos. But I just wanted to like put some energy and some life into it. And I thought, okay, this is a project that I think I could have fun doing. I could have fun doing it for me, but also I could have fun putting it out there for everybody else to see and see what the reaction is. So why do I say I want to talk about that? So I'm supposed to be filming that right now. The situation that I'm in is very difficult. This has been a constant frustration of mine since I ever started doing YouTube videos. Audio is very important. How you sound is very important, unfortunately, because a lot of the time, most of us start off with microphones and stuff that is not so great. I still don't have a perfect microphone. I don't have a perfect room or studio or anything to do this in. But sound is important. We want it to be perfect. We want like perfect silence in between everything. And that's not always possible. And in my situation, it's definitely not always possible. And it's become a real sticking point for doing videos. It stresses me out because I've been structuring it so that I can even do videos, that I do it in this very narrow slice of time, usually at night, because at night most people are home, there's not so much activity going on outside, and it's very stressful. Like, I'm super stressed right now. I was gearing up to do this and I was feeling okay, and then my anxiety level just jumped up 5 levels because right before going to do it I realized like there's so much noise and I can't do anything about the noise. Like, I literally can't. I have done the things that I can do. I mean, the other things that I can't. There's nothing that you can. Noise is noise. You can't always eliminate noise, and I'm always finding myself rushing to fit into this window, sometimes forgoing my physical needs, just to get these videos done. And it's like, what kind of energy am I bringing into the video if that's what's going on? But that's what's going on. I do things because of that. I speak louder because I know that if I speak louder, the microphone will kind of like tone down all the quieter sounds and hopefully it'll drown her out. But then if I'm trying to do something for dramatic effect where I want to pause and be quiet, I can't do that because I'm always speaking at the high volume to drown out everything else. The times when I get stressed out are around money. I get stressed out around doing this. The thing that I've been really stressed about recently is changing the direction of what I do because I have all of these constraints. It's kind of funny because I've been trying to be a little bit more open on my personal Facebook, and like when I get frustrated, when I get sad, when I get angry, just blurt it out, just vague book posting, like whatever. Which is something I always used to do, and then I stopped doing it because I felt like nobody wanted to hear it. And I posted something right before I sat down to do this, and then somebody basically said, like, why are you complaining? Like, I don't want to hear this. And I'm like, hello, this is why I don't do this, because you get this kind of feedback. I've always been about expressing yourself and being truthful to who you are, and like, that's my truth. My truth is that I'm frustrated. My truth is that I'm having a hard time. If I want to complain, I'm going to complain. I cannot stand people who do not want you to complain. You know what? If you don't like other people who complain, fuck you. Then you never ever complain. And you know what? When you never ever complain, you're going to find it's really difficult and you're going to feel really frustrated and you're going to find that you're holding on to this iceberg underneath iceberg. You're gonna find that you're holding on to a ton of shit that's toxic and like filling your system. Why? Let people express themselves. It's not even like I was expressing myself attacking anybody. I was just expressing myself. So I can't stand people who don't want you to complain. To me, that's just fucking bullshit. I feel like things need to be done a certain way. I need to control the image or whatever a little bit too much, and I'm like, why? Why am I doing this? Isn't that like a false self? Why do I need a false self? I'm not a false person. Why do I need to put on a charade? Like, why can't I express when I'm happy? Why can't I express when I'm sad? Like, it is what it is. I'm just over it. Okay, back to present time. I had a number of life changes and just like, you know, things like getting sick and a lot of crappy stuff happening around December and early January. We're still in January, and it's been a lot to adjust to, and I haven't been able to upload as much as I would like to. And I've kind of been feeling a little burned out about the whole YouTube thing, which really sucks because I enjoy it. I know I'm not super interactive because it does drain me a little bit, but I like the experience of talking about mental health and sharing with everybody. And lately, I don't know, I'm enjoying making this video right now, but when it's done, am I going to enjoy editing it? Am I going to enjoy making all the stuff around it? I don't know. It's been hard because I recently purchased new software, which is expensive, and my financial situation is not good. I don't know that that was the smart move, but it was a move that I feel like I needed to make. And so there's been like an onboarding process of learning how to use the software, and that is tough, but I want to improve. And in 2019, I especially want to improve, and I want this channel and everything here to be fun for you. I want you to want to come back, and that's why I started doing this web series. I guess I'm calling it a web series for now. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. I'll put a link somewhere. This story of Estra and what's going on with Estra and her life. Okay, Ryan, breathe. I don't know why when I do videos, let's breathe. Let's do that first. I don't know why when I do videos I feel like I need to talk rapidly. I guess it's because I'm always thinking in the back of my head like, uh-oh, it's gonna say like 15 minutes and no one's gonna want to watch this. So I apologize if I speak a little too fast. That's another thing I need to get better at. I didn't realize it when I made the video last week, but I realized it this week that I've probably been mildly depressed because I've been playing a lot of video games. In December, I was obsessed with Celeste, and then I moved on to Mario Kart 8. And there was Mario Odyssey, and now I moved on to Breath of the Wild. Basically, I just got a Switch, and I'm like going through all the classics. Oh, and Civilization. Let's talk about Civilization for a minute, because I was getting addicted to that game, and I know that like there's this whole internet game addiction or whatever, gaming disorder. Let me tell you, games are fun. I love games. Games make me feel like I'm accomplishing something, even though technically I'm not really accomplishing anything. I mean, it's not like something I'd make a living off of or anything, but I love the feeling of doing something and actually getting somewhere and like feeling like you worked a skill, and there's a sense of accomplishment, and it kind of helps me when I'm feeling like a little down to pick up a game and feel like I got somewhere. What was happening with me in Civilization 6 is I was getting addicted. Like I was totally like feeling like I need to keep going and I need to keep doing this. And Civilization's a really good game at pulling on your strings and making you stay attached and wanting to continue. And I would say that was definitely, I wouldn't say it was a mental disorder, but I could see how it could lead to a mental disorder. That's what was going on for a while there. But I didn't notice that this was a sign of a mild depression. Now, I've taken the depression screening. You can go to Google on your mobile phone and type in, I think, depression or depression screening. I'll put it up on the screen. And you can take the questions and see like what's going on. Do you have what might be called a depressive disorder? And I definitely do not qualify for that. I probably never have, or maybe if I did, it was like years and years ago when I was a teenager. But I go through these periods where I have like a mild depression, and it's hard to explain that to people because I am a pretty high functioning person otherwise. Even when I'm in that depressive state, I can usually get stuff done, although this time around, I don't know, it's just hit me hard, probably because there's been so many life changes happening all at once and like circumstance, and I'm having a hard time adjusting to a few in particular. And you would think like I of all people would notice that that's happening and know that that's happening, but I didn't. And it's just kind of interesting to think about that even somebody like me who's constantly thinking about mental health and all this stuff just doesn't recognize it. To me, I was just like tired all the time, or I just, I don't know, I wasn't like feeling passionate about the things that I wanted to do, but no, it was mostly depressive stuff going on. It wasn't that. And for me, some other signs that that's what's happening is like I haven't been eating that well. I mean, I've been eating okay. I forget to eat, things like that. That's my personal way that depression kind of shows up. I haven't been taking care of my body the way that I was. I was on a very like good routine for a really long time, and I felt like I had like a thing going, and that routine got totally disrupted. And since that routine has gotten disrupted, I fell off the wagon and I have not gotten back on. Do you relate to any of this? I have this tendency, because it's just me in a room with a camera, to forget like to include you when I talk. Like I feel like I'm talking to you, but I don't know. I need to like see somebody in front of me, and I forget to ask. So does this stuff relate? Do you feel like you relate to this? Do you ever go through periods where you're probably depressed and you don't realize that it's depression? Because I want to know if that's just me. I think a lot of us, when we have mental issues, we don't really see that it's a mental issue. Maybe we realize it after the fact, or maybe our friends tell us, or our family, but I don't know. It took me a while. And then I told a friend about it, and she was like, yeah, I figured. And I'm like, yeah, how did she figure? And I didn't even know. Okay, so since I don't want this to be like a long video, let's talk about this channel, because things are changing. I don't want them to drastically change. I've always done like videos on specific topics and answering questions and trying to like help teach and guide people. But I feel like I get a lot of people who just kind of like show up at my door and leave really quickly, which is totally fine. But I want to have something else for people who are here all the time, who come back. I want to do a web series because I think a lot of people, when they hear mental health, they're like, oh, mental health, like I'm tired of hearing about it. Like I get it. Some people are depressed. Some people have anxiety. Sometimes that happens to me. Whatever. Like I think people just they're not engaged in the idea of mental health. And I think having a story maybe helps a little bit. It makes it more entertaining, because it's not entertaining to, I don't know. It's not, I get it. I can totally relate to the person who goes to YouTube and is like, why would I want to watch anything about mental health? That's not me. I'm the person who loves to watch stuff about mental health, but I can understand the person who's like, really? Why would I want to do that? I have so many other things I can do. But I still want to do the videos that are more educational. I was thinking actually I could kind of like talk about each episode after the episode and see where that goes. Unfortunately, I don't know how this is going to pan out because I'm still adjusting to these life changes. I'm having a hard time like getting the editing and all the stuff done. I'm trying to make the editing way more than it's been. And that takes learning and that takes time. It's taking a while. Clearly I'm not doing 5 videos a week. I would love to get back to that point, and I have other stuff that I wanted to do on top of this that it's on the back burner, and it's definitely something that I do not want to forget about. But for now, I'm in a transition period and I'm just kind of uploading when I'm able to. But either way, I do read the comments and I appreciate hearing from you. So if you're somebody who comes back regularly, like this stuff is for you, I want to hear your feedback. I have been very, very insecure about this since coming up with the idea. And part of the reason why it's taken so long is because I've been trying to make it the best it possibly can be. And even when it's the best that I can make it, like I had to just say, okay, you know what? Like, fuck it, I have to just put this out at this point. And I'm going to learn as I go, and hopefully we're going to get better, and hopefully that people will join in even though we're in the middle of a story. That's another concern I have. I'm really putting all of my energy and my focus right now into this story. Whether that works out or not, I don't know. That's going to be my priority. I will be doing other videos and stuff. I don't know what the plan's gonna look like for that because like it's taking so much energy to make this web series idea that I don't know what is left over for anything else right now. I imagine that eventually I will get better at it and I'll be able to start uploading more frequently. Again, I don't really feel like any of you actually are watching every video that I do, so I don't think you care about all this stuff, but this is the stuff that's on my mind, and this is why I'm doing a mental health check, because I don't even check in on my own mental health enough, clearly, if I didn't realize that I was feeling depressed. It's interesting that I can have the motivation, I can have a plan, I can like have all the steps laid out, and I can have the time slotted in and everything, and then it just falls apart. We're hopeful, we're excited, like this is the way we're going, we're gonna do this and we're gonna get there. You know, think of New Year's resolutions. We're excited that we're gonna make a change, and then like it just falls. Everything falls apart because life happens. And one of the main definitions of mental health has been like the ability to adapt to life changes, and it's interesting how I'm not adapting to life changes very well, and we all, I think, make plans and try to adapt as best we can, and we don't always, we fall short. It happens. So I don't know, just something to think about. Again, let me know what's going on with your life down below in the comments, even if it's one sentence or something. Like, guys, let me know. I hate when I make videos like this and I ask for feedback and then I get nothing, because then it's like I really am just a crazy person talking in a room to myself. And I don't want to be that person, so at least reassure me that I'm not the crazy person talking to myself in a room. All right, that's not really your job. You don't have to do that, but thank you for checking things out. I hope that you will reflect on your own mental health, and I don't know when I'll see you next, but I will definitely be continuing this series about Estra. I do have a name for it, but I don't know how committed I am to the name. I'm gonna see how things go. All right, thanks everybody. I hope you're doing well. Take care. And this is where I put the little video things up. I don't have an outro, so this is what we get, guys.